Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another session. And in this session, what I'm going to be talking about is I've been doing an exercise on the side. I haven't really been posting any videos. I've been staying off of YouTube, more focusing on my trading right now, right? But with that being said, I've still been doing an exercise that I did post, and it was journaling my trades in the back testing sessions, how I'm doing it and everything like that. And I have a question on how do I do it, right? What is the journal? What is the entry? What is the context? And all of that from start to finish. So I'll do like a trade or two on video, and then I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing. And yeah, let us jump straight into it. So basically how I do it is, I'm only trading the 2 o'clock, not 2 o'clock, sorry. Go to next day's open, right? I'm only trading that 10 o'clock time period anyway. So just from the top down, let's just go from the top down as I always do, right? It's been a while since I jumped on a video. So coming in from the top down, I'm looking at the daily chart, looking at order flow. It is a pretty bullish order flowing type week. We do tap us into a very relative area. With us tapping into the relative area, we are in a bullish order flowing type of trend, right? So we can see that we do have this sweep here. Then I'll look at the daily profile. Does the daily profile support this? It does have a nice open low profile where we sweep out this level, and we have a range low to range high type deal. NQ, more so in a consolidation, no clear daily profile. So I'm not even going to look at NQ anymore because we did tap us into that high, and now we are sent into a consolidation. So I would like to trade YM up higher. We can see that the low of day is a possible 2 a.m. low of day. Not really liking the 6 a.m. closure, but it is still moving in the upwards direction. So I can assume maybe this is going to be my low of day, going from range low to range high. Right, clear daily profile. We are pushing. We have a 1 hour C2 pressing me upwards. Draw on liquidity right now is going to be considered that. Any type of movement away from these highs is going to be considered a retracement to me, and we can see that NQ is just consolidating as the daily profile is chopped. So I'm going to be sticking more so with YM because of the fact that these highs here not really formed from anything of true significancy, and you can obviously see the model of that range low to range high. We have a 1 hour C2 pushes us outwards and outwards, and we do have like it's kind of this is kind of messy, don't get me wrong, but we do have a 15-minute C2 there and no 3-minute CISD. So I would wait until this low gets impacted because this would be like your accumulation manipulation. I'm pretty set on taking longs here. So we do get invalidated and we do start heading lower. Draw on liquidity was actually to these lows and maybe even further. So right now, I still can't trade away from that. So we do have all of that low resistance liquidity. So that's kind of a big reason why it ran lower. But basically, all I look for here is just going to be a 15-minute C2, forming the lowest point of the day. V-shape reversal, pushing us back up to the upside. Zoom back out. Even with because I was doing for a pretty long time, was just looking for that secondary CISD out, but now I am looking for another C2 because my stop loss placement is considered 15-minute C2s like this. So once I have that 15-minute swing as my stop loss, you can take notice of that 15-minute C2 V shape, sends up accumulation, manipulation, looking for the distribution back up to the upside. All right. And then I'll just backtest out. Oh shit. And then I'll just literally just backtest it just like that. Right? And then whatever the fucking the outcome is. Obviously you can go break even now. And then we're just gonna shoot for 2R because that's what we do. And then there's your 2R. All right. So what you can do from here is that's when I'll just go into the journaling. All right. We'll get our 2R there. Play it a little bit more. Does it go to our full draw on liquidity? No, it doesn't. Right. So it just goes up to just this high, which is valid. Right. And with that being said, now let's go over from the top down and frame it how we would frame it if we was to actually like journal it, right? So I usually, because of the fact that I do it fast, I just leave everything on just as it is, and then I'll go on the daily chart and I'll mark out why I was bullish. So why I was bullish, we have bullish order flow. All right, so we got, where is bullish order flow? Bullish order flow, sweep, OB, shit like that, whatever. I'm just looking at what I already used, right? So you have that bullish order flow, looking at a weekly opening low. It's not nice. It's not pretty. I'm not going to lie to you there, right? And the reasoning why it's not nice is because I'm getting the work done and then I'm going over it later. So I'll just have it like this, screenshot it, and I'm only screenshotting what YM and NQ is doing because I rarely look at ES nowadays. I'm not going to front to you. So we have bullish order flow, daily narrative. We do have an impact here of this low. And then, like I said, I go for a clear daily profile. Fuck that, we're deleting all of this. This is crazy, bro. All right, boom. Key level, sweep. Clear daily profile, check. Target, draw out your target. High a day, DOL. DOL. All right. Why is it DOL? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, with the daily order flow being extremely bullish. This low here, high resistance, where we should not be going up. Now what do? Impact, retrace into these gaps here on the 6-hour time frame, and I just utilize the 6-hour time frame just for the daily profile, right? So you can see that this candle, the first candle of the day, is 1800. This is Asia, this is London, this is New York, and then 12 o'clock is PM session, right? With that being said, we can see the accumulation, looking for the universal model. Boom, clear daily profile. Take a screenshot of this. I don't know if I screenshotted the last one, right? And I'm literally just putting in what I use, right? What I was using in order to get on side with this trade. And then I looked at the 15-minute time frame. Sweep. And then this guy, sweep. And I'll mark out my 15-minute entry. And then my target to 2R. Right. Draw on liquidities is all of these. And then I will mark out my, actually 10 o'clock's already marked out, but nonetheless, it's just like super quick and easy frames. We're not making it like super pretty, but this is basically what I'm going to leave behind. Open up NQ a little bit so you can see what NQ is doing at the same time. Take a screenshot here. Then I'll mark out my 15-minute candle entry. So it separates the candle entry and the candle before it. Go to 3 minutes. Looking for the V-shaped reversal. CISD. And because I don't just utilize the secondary CISDs like that, I wait for what? A C2 formation to form after. So here's your secondary CISD. Especially if we are trading away from the lowest point of the day, I would like to see a continuation entry. And then we do have that accumulation, manipulation, and then we do have that 15-minute CISD up to the upside. Can enter it like that, and then your target's like this, right? Then you take a screenshot of this, and I'll zoom out and show like the bigger picture of what I'm looking at, right? Going from a key level of interest, V-shaped reversal, swing formation, accumulation, manipulation, looking for that distribution up higher. Target is to the highest point of the day. Daily candle has a nice clear open, low, high close, and then you got your draws on liquidity that is located above us. Right, so these are all little things in alignment with the overall higher time frame order flow for us to go to ultimately this draw in liquidity in the near future. Right, as you can tell, this is nothing but a retrace to continue up higher, as is leaving behind all of these engineered highs. Right, and then take a screenshot of this. Then we'll go over to Discord. Sorry, I gotta let me. Okay, is Discord connected? Sorry, let me this is just a one take thing, bro. I didn't really. There you go. Go over to Discord. This is the Discord that I have for myself. And I'll just upload the pictures and videos, right? So go here, not pictures and videos, just pictures. What time is this? 2:08. Add these here. And then I'll label it as, what number are we on? 264. 264. And I just enter it. So before I go and journal all of these, I'll just get me a good batch up, and I'll put in, I don't know, 200 of them. Like I did 200 of them, right? So with the 200 that I did put in, then I'll go in and journal afterwards as well. And you can do these both for your wins and your losses. So after you do your wins, you also want to go and journal all of your losses. What does your losses have in common? What are they not? And you're just journaling it from the top down, right? And then from here, where's my where's Discord? There you go. From here, I will go on. Oh man, I have a different template that's on a separate screen. Sorry guys, my bad. I was not like fully 100% prepared for this. But I have a template that I'll just do a whole journal entry with you guys, right? So going back to Discord. 260, 264, edit. I have, here's your template. I'll put it in the description of this video so that way you guys can get the template for it. I usually do this on a separate Word doc and then I'll go and copy it over, but we'll do it here on the Discord thing. So I'll go for the daily narrative. Daily narrative was AMD C2 to C3. Overall bullish order flow. Overall bullish order flow. Right. And that's just a simple your daily narrative of why it was bullish. Clear daily profile was clear. Clear open low high close. Clear open low high close. High of day not set with significance. NQ was chopping. IRL, ERL, I guess you could say. I mean, it was not really IRL, ERL. It was more ERL, IRL. It's just fucking to the model in itself, right? But whatever the case may be, IRL, ERL. Let's just put that like that, just for example purposes, because I'm not trying to go and make this video super long. Entry signatures, 15-minute C2. 15-minute C2, V-shape from low of day out of key level. And then 15-minute C2, continuation, AMD. 3-minute V-shape continuation. All right. That's just basically it, bro. Like, stops was out of swing, yes. And did I have clear targets? Yes. And that's literally fucking all it is, right? So there's nothing, it's not like super complicating as long as you're just following those steps, right? What is your daily narrative? Okay, we got bullish order flow. What is your clear daily? Is your daily profile clear? Yes. What profile wasn't clear? Why did we choose NQ? Or why did we choose YM? Because NQ did not have a clear daily profile. Entry signatures, yes, there was a 15-minute C2 forming the lowest point of the day. Was there a V shape away from that lowest point of the day? Yes. Was we going to trade that 15-minute C2 away from it? Or no. Why? Because we need a continuation OB because of the fact that what? This is also the lowest point of the day. I don't take first CISDs on the lowest points of days, right? So with that being said, there was my stops at the swings. Yes. Was there clear targets? Yes. So with all of that being said, that's kind of where we're at with this, right? Sorry, my cursor doesn't show on Discord, but let's go over another example and we can show you guys another example. Let's see if we lose the next one, right? Okay, back to here. And yeah, that's basically all it is. It's not anything super special. New layout, go to next day's open. All right, so here, looking over on the daily chart, narrative, clear daily open, low, high, close, kind of within this chop fest though now, right? So with us being within this chop fest, I don't want to trade away from those equal lows. I just might not trade altogether, right? Because now we are within this. NQ actually looking a lot more clean as it does do a less of a pullback. Daily C2 looking for C3 off of OB, and we want to continue up to all of this low resistance liquidity that's located above. Okay, cool. What is our next step? Do we have a clear daily profile? Yes. What do we also respect? 50% of this wick. So with the 50% of this wick getting held up, midpoint, right? This is your clear daily profile. Do we have targets? Yes. Okay, cool. YM making deeper retracement. So YM, we are not trading YM as there is equal lows below, making the deepest retracements down to the downside. So with that being said, we do expand away from it, expansion away from it. Cool. Clear daily profile. Cool. Now I'm looking at my entry signatures. So here we can take notice that we do have this expansion up higher. Do we tap into anything relevant here? No, we did not. We have the current high day has gotten missed and there's no SMT at it whatsoever as well. So with this all being said, I'm going to wait because it looks like YM might take this high first as it is a lot more bullish. But with this all being said here, we do have this 15-minute C2. And now we have this gap. Will this gap hold price up to the upside? I don't know, but we'll see. Like, what does the entry signatures say? Okay, so I would actually have to wait here for this push downwards. See if that gap holds. The gap doesn't hold, and we do run lower. So with that run lower, let's see if we can get a new 15-minute swing to support my thesis up to the upside. So here we can take notice that there is sweep here. No gap, no 15-minute swing yet, so we're just going to have to let it run. Boom, SMT break, 15-minute swing. Open, low, high, close. YM looks a lot cleaner than NQ now, as YM is holding that strength up to the upside to go up to these highs here. So we're going to be looking at trading YM up higher. Do we get the V-shape reversal now? All right. Boom. V-shape reversal. Stops always goes to the 15-minute swings. All right. Long this up to 2R. Place this order. Save. And then you rip it. And then you get stopped out. Cool. Whatever. You know what I mean? What do you do from here? After you get stopped out. Was we wrong completely? So NQ does go up to those highs. It just doesn't... NQ does go up to those highs. It was not NQ though, or it was not YM. So wrong asset choice here, as there is an SMT in between these lows. So with the SMT in between these lows like this, CISD, boom, C3. Stops go to the C2 low. See if NQ is to play. Yeah. And that's just basically that, right? So from there, we'll do it again. what am I looking for? C2 to C3, C2 to C3. Take the screenshot here. Didn't really like the way that these equal lows are present. Not a huge fan of this. Huge fan of equal lows, but YM cleaned up and Q fell apart. So just taking notes on what we are looking at. Delete this, but we do have a clear daily profile. All right. Clear daily profile, push, DOL. Okay. Looking here, sweep, telling me that we can go up higher, zoom out, DOL. They're actually a lot nicer on NQ than it is on YM, but taking a YM because it did clean up for that little bit, right? We didn't use the 1 hour. We just used the 15. And then you'll take this screenshot here. And then your entry time frame. And then your bigger time frame, your intraday. Obviously now you can see that NQ is a lot cleaner. And I'll even go to the next day and see, was my draw on liquidity correct? Eventually it was, right? But not within the day. From there, go to here, go to your backtesting losses, backtesting, 64, and then we'll go to 65. Sorry, my bad, dog. I don't know if there's a better way to explain these things, but it's kind of a dry video. I ain't going front about that. I'll upload this into my Discord. $265. And then yeah, and then that's completed, right? I don't really do the whole journaling initially. I'll just gather all the screenshots and all the trades first, and then after I gather all the screenshots and the trades, I will go through each and every single one in one session or for a whole day. This is what I'm going to do, is go through all of the losses, and then I'll go through all of the wins and do the exact same thing, right? It's just going through all of them. And as you can tell, like, there's journaled and then there's not journaled because I didn't get to these yet, right? But yeah, and you just journal every single trade that you come across, right? What are you noticing on these? What are you noticing on these? What are you noticing on these, so on and so forth. And yeah, but I mean, we can go through a random one, right? Let's just go through a random one here. So from this, you can see daily bullish order flow is going up higher to, hold on. Oh, I can't. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can bring it up on a different screen. Oh yeah, this is the same. This is the screen. Okay, cool. So with this being said, right, we can see that daily order flow is extremely bullish. I'm trying to trade up to my ultimate draw on liquidity that is located above. All right. From this, we can see that we do have a clear daily profile of it opening low into internal range. All of this is the draw on liquidity, where we do have that clear model expansion, retracement, expansion. You can see that NQ is making that retracement lower as well. So both of these assets are pretty valid to trade. Why am I trading YM versus NQ? Is possibly because it's a cleaner look to it versus there's no gap here and it's not really respecting anything other than a slow here. All right. Next trade or next day. Next screen is your 4-hour chart, clear daily profile. That's all I'm looking at. Yeah, your 6 a.m. C3. I'm looking for what? A 10 a.m. C4 to the draws on liquidities, which is located above. 15-minute C2 outside of the gap, forming the low of that 10 a.m. candle outside of this gap, and we can trade that C3 up to the upside to the draw on liquidity that's located above, which is what? Just this current high day within that previous day's high, right? And then we trade that C3 up to the upside. Stops goes to the C2 low on the 15-minute time frame, as that's your V-shaped reversal, accumulation, manipulation, looking for the distribution up higher. And this is your overall higher time frame model, right? It does go and work here on NQ, but nonetheless. And if you mess it up, bro, like, don't be like, I fix it sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not supposed to take that one, you know what I mean? So I'll fix it and be like, okay. And just it's for the journal and for you to recognize. It's not for you to test yourself. This is just for you to recognize the model, what is working, what is not, everything else in between. What is like a mistake? What is your mistakes that you do all the time? You're not trying to test yourself here, right? You're just trying to get used to it, the concepts in work, right? So you can see bearish order flow, most likely going to be considered bearish. Clear daily profile, Asia higher day. If Asia is the higher day, what do I want to see? A different phase and price down here in order for us to get protecting the higher day with some turner internal. So here's your internal draw. Here's your different phase and price, which is your retracement. So going from that internal down to external, which is those equal lows. So Asia higher day, expansion away, retracement, different phase and price. Use this 4-hour gap to frame lower. What do I want to see at the low of, or at the high of this 4-hour gap? Is a 15-minute swing formation. 15-minute C2, looking to trade within the C3. Why is this not a reversal? Because it is not in comparison with this low that's to the left of us, right? So with that being said, V-shape reversal, CISD, hit that 15-minute continuation. I enter in within the C3. Stops goes to the C2 high outside of a key level to a draw on liquidity. And obviously it goes down all the way to the draw on liquidity, right? On all assets. Why did I choose YM versus NQ? Because NQ made a lot deeper of a retracement than YM did, so to say, right? Let's go to the next one. And that's all like written here, and that's what I write. I write it because writing is better than talking in a video. And that's kind of why I started doing it this way rather than just recording videos, because writing is showing me a lot more, giving me a lot more value than just like fucking flying through backtesting videos and talking about it. But here you can take notice of your ERL, IRL looking like a daily C2 to go daily C3 into previous day's high. Want to make sure that what the daily profile does support it. Here's your daily profile, ERL, IRL, push, push. Profile does support us going lower and then back up higher to this draw on liquidity, which YM does impact, and there's a SMT here, but it's failing to reverse, so we can take notice of us wanting to go up higher. How can we tell that YM is failing to reverse? Because the daily profile supports, with the 6 a.m. closure, supports for YM to go back up higher. So with that being said, the daily profile supporting it looks like a reversal from that high, but realistically it's just a daily open low to go back into 50% of this range to continue up higher. So we can use NQ, the lagging asset, to catch up to that draw on liquidity. Here's your 4-hour time frame. We got that 6 a.m. C2. Pushes up CISDs, we can assume that this low is now going to be considered protected. Now we want to frame the 10 a.m. opening or 10 a.m. trade up to the high. What do I want to frame the bottom of the 10 a.m. wick with? A 15-minute C2 to put for my stop loss. Is there a 15-minute C2 here? So we actually entered this as a positional 10 a.m. entry. So why can we enter this with a positional 10 a.m. entry? Is because a C2 is within reach for me to use this. And we can obviously see that we already have that failure to manipulate already. So these are times when I can use that 15-minute C2 right then and there, is when I do have it within reach for, it's in a valid point for me to actually enter and use it, right? So here's your push up and your continuation OB. I put it here because why? That 15-minute swing is pretty much next to each other. If we're going to get stopped out, we're going to get stopped out anyway. So I just utilized this OB swing. Here, 10 a.m. opens low, high, close, up to the draw on liquidity. We get stopped out of break even. And this was your model, right? Sweep, ERL, IRL, daily open, high, low, close. Target all that low resistance liquidity that is located above from that 15-minute swing in alignment with this. Let's go on to another one. So here we can take notice. We do have a very bearish order flow. So what am I most likely going to be looking for? Shorts here. Okay. We do have a clear daily profile, accumulation, manipulation into internal range. And now our draw on liquidity is for these lows. We can see that all leaves behind all of this low resistance liquidity, expansion, retrace, expansion. And now we can, what do we want to form the high of this day with? Is your 15-minute swing. Here's your 15-minute push downwards. What do we have to wait for? Not just the very first 3-minute CISD here. So here's your first 3-minute CISD. What do I have to wait for? Is a new 15-minute swing in order for me to go and put my stop loss there, because that's where my stop loss is at 15-minute C2s. I put my stop loss at the C2, enter in within the C3. Here's your C3's opening. This is your C2's open high, low, CISD, entry, catch the continuation down to all of this low resistance liquidity that is located below. It's the same thing: accumulation, manipulation, distribution, IRL, ERL with the daily order flow. Does it get there? Yes, it does. Does it go up first? Yes, it does. Well, that's why we only take 2R here, right? Let's go over another one. So here you can take notice. Daily is accumulating, looking for a push down to the downside. Daily C2, going for daily C3. All of this low resistance that is located below looks like a London expansion, with London expanding this low into the draw on liquidity already. Oh, wait. Not London. My bad. Wait, what? Oh, no, this is 0. I thought this was 18. So this is 0, as you can tell from here, right? And then now this is going to be considered your expansion, looking for a DOL lagging asset. Why? Because an NQ takes its low but fails to manipulate it and starts dumping through. So we can trade YM down lower. The profile here is low-key weak. I think I wrote down on this one is actually a bad trade. No, this is actually a good trade. My bad. So you can see that the daily profile, we have that 6 a.m. very strong closure, looking for a continuation as NQ does fail to manipulate this. And we do have some relatively equal lows that is located right here. Price does make its way back up. Why? Because when the leading asset taps into its draw on liquidity, what do I have to wait for? A new 15-minute swing. So with that being said, NQ, you can see the consolidation happening. We want to see a new 15-minute swing get formed. We have that 15-minute C3 looking to trade C4 and so on and so forth. V-shape reversal, entry, and expand. All right, there's your overall higher time frame models and shit. But yeah, that's basically what I do, how I've been doing it. I've done it for 200 trades so far. It's a lot, bro. I'm not gonna front to you, but do the screenshots first, do 50 of them, and then do the journals for them after, within one sitting or 2 sittings or however stuff, like, so that way you're assigning that time period for that. And I will say, like, going over your journal reviews of your winners and losers will find the common trends of why you're winning, why you're losing, and what you're really looking for within the model. You don't have to be correct. You're not testing yourself. If you do feel like, fuck, why am I losing? Like, dog, just fix the position into what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, don't, like, you can use the replay too. You're not testing your knowledge right now. You're just fucking getting used to what the model looks like. What is the components that you are looking for? But be sure, one thing I can tell you guys, especially for me and myself, is be sure that I am utilizing, or I am framing losing trades when they're good losses and losses that are supposed to be like something that I want to take note of. Right? Because you know, when you're backtesting, bro, you end up fucking gambling. Not taking even setups. If you're not doing it correctly, step away as well. do it correctly or not at all, right? Step away, take a break, reset the mind, and then jump back into it after, because you do need those breaks. That is very important for you to do things correctly, right? And then just go and utilize the daily narrative, clear daily profile. I mean, that's just basically it, dog. Like, it ain't anything crazy, crazy, crazy. My checklist, I don't even have like a checklist. I guess I do. Sorry, let me bring up FX replay charts. Hold on. Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. Where am I going to? It's basically all the same shit, bro. This is my trade from today. So what do we see? AMD, push, push, whatever, right? Accumulation, manipulation, IRL, ERL, expansion, accumulation, manipulation, looking for distribution. Here you can see your ERL on the daily chart, range low to range high. Asia, low a day. What do we want to see if Asia is going to be the low a day? Expansion away. This will create gaps. What do we want to see before jumping into a trade is the different phase in price, right? A different phase in price needs to present itself, because we don't want to go and do expansion, expansion, expansion. I want to go at expansion, retracement, expansion, expansion, consolidation, manipulation, expansion, right? And then what do we have? Expansion, consolidation, manipulation, looking for the expansion, consolidation. 10 a.m., no wick, price comes down, sweeps out the consolidation low, gives us a 30-minute C2 outside of this gap. That's sending us into the 1400 candle. From that 1400 candle, what do I look for? 15-minute C2. And because I don't trade at the lowest point of here, I mean, it's not the lowest point of the day, but here's your first CISD. I waited for that 1400 candle opening because we're about to open up a 4-hour candle. From this, I do see this, boom, accumulation, 1400 opens low, sets the low of that 1400 candle with a 15-minute swing formation. With a 15-minute C2, I enter within C3, stops goes to the C2's low, target is towards all of these highs that is located above us. With that being said, all of this is low resistance liquidity, expansion met with expansion, accumulation, manipulation, looking for the re-expansion up, at least minimal to this high, and then to the 2R, which is those equal highs and all this low resistance liquidity that is located above us. With that being said, is there V-shaped reversals? Is the phases in price clear? So on and so forth. Here's your overview: accumulation, manipulation, distribution, AMD, AMD, AMD. What you could have done good, what you could have done better. See, I mean, it's the exact same thing here on my Instagram as well. It's like daily narrative, daily profile, confirmation. I'm gonna change that. That's more so like my swing formations, my entry signatures, risk to reward, like the result, what I could have done better. For today, it was my first time trading PM session, as I wanted it. I really did want to see that. It was just a higher time frame AMD, but it didn't manipulate and distribute. It just accumulated, looked like a manipulation, and then just continued lower, right? I even utilized two levels of fucking continuation signatures, right? So with this being said, reversal, accumulation, manipulation, reversal, continuation out of 3-minute gaps to go up to these highs. This is where I was bullish to, right? Did that happen? No, it didn't. NQ was the leading asset to go down lower. But yeah, that's basically it. Fucking yeah, my first time trading PM, and then this is, I guess you could say this is your fuck, I don't know. It's been a long time since I recorded a video, so I'm not like that skilled at this, right? But this is your checklist, right? It's just your universal model, which you can find on the daily and the 4-hour, pretty much all the asset, all the time frames. Clear daily profile. Was there a clear daily profile today? Yes. Right, Asia low a day. And then what do we want to see from an Asia low a day is a different phase in price if it already has expanded. For today, what do we get? A different phase in price after the expansion here, right, which was that accumulation, expansion, accumulation. Then that protects Asia's low for the manipulation to then distribute, right? So yeah, looks good to me. Fuck. I don't see anything else here. Clear phases in price, clear V shapes, entry signature, trading away from a C2, stops us at the C2's low. And that was also the low of the 1400 candle, which is a small wick 4-hour candle for us to go up higher. And that's just basically what it was. Why did it fail? Possibly because the higher time frame here is on a bearish day. I was just looking for up higher, right? I was looking from up higher from this range low, and I just failed to recognize that we are in a bearish market. So any move up to the upside is considered a manipulation to continue lower. The only problem with it that I seen with shorts here is there's nothing to the left of us other than all the way to the left, like May time. But we are in a bearish market now, and we are outside of the range that we have been for the last like 3 months, dog. But other than that, I'm going to log off, take a break. But yeah, that's basically how I've been doing the journaling and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I will catch you guys in the next session. If you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next session. Peace.